Okay, here we are with workout number 8 for your Strong at Home program. So our warm-up today, kind of 3 sections to our warm-up. The first section, you're going to do 3 rounds of 2 squats. So we find our squat stance, feet just outside our shoulders, nice tall spine, tight belly, send the hip back and down to your depth, keep that chest up. So we do 2 squats, then we're going to bring our feet back in underneath our hips, and we're going to do 3 three-way lunges. So a 3-way lunge is stepping forward, lunging forward, lower down to your depth, trying to keep your chest up, hips drop, push back through that front heel, then a side step, laterally, shift that weight down and hip back, vertical shin, knee over ankle, push through that foot to come back. And then we're going to step back as far as we feel comfortable. Keep our balance. Again, chest up, tall spine, drop the hip, stand on the front heel, and come back together. So that's 1 3-way lunge. So we do that 2 more times. So lateral and reverse, and 1 more time. So you notice we're staying on the same leg. So that's 3 on the right leg. Now we're going to do 3 on the left leg. 1, 2, 3. You're coming back into the middle each time. This is our second round. That's the end of the second round. This is our third round. So you're going to repeat that whole series 2 more times. So 2 squats, 3 3-way lunges to the right, 3 3-way lunges to the left, and again 1 more time. So once you've done 3 rounds of your squats and lunges, you're going to then do 2 sets of 10 pass-throughs and 10 reverse diagonal flies. So we're going to use our Theraband for this. So for the pass-throughs, we're holding nice and wide, tall spine, tight belly. Make sure those ribs stay over hips. Don't let your arch or your back arch to get your arms up overhead. So remember, for some of you, our shoulder mobility is not ideal. So we're just going to go to where we feel that gentle stretch. So long arms, wide shoulders, bringing that band up and around as far as you think you can, and then come back through without breaking at the elbow. Okay? Some of you will be able to get all the way around. Some of you are just going to go to that gentle stretch and back through. So you're going to do 10 of those pass-throughs. Then the reverse diagonal flies. So we're still in that same position of tall spine, tight belly, ribs over hips. Arms are straight out in front, nice long arms. So it's an opposite arm goes up while the other goes down. So I'm going to go up with my right arm, down with my left. So I'm pulling up, right arm, down left, come back into the center, and switch to the other side. So that's our reverse diagonal fly. This is really good for some of our shoulder warm-up series, getting our shoulders engaged and keeping that core tight. Okay, so we'll do a series of 10 of those. So you'll go through 2 sets of 10 pass-throughs and 10 reverse diagonal flies. Then the last little warm-up piece is a little bit of shoulder mobility. So we're going to get down on our hands and knees. Those of you who can't kneel on the floor, I think you all know you can put your hands on something a little higher like a chair and be standing in almost a tabletop in a standing position, so you can mimic this. So I'm going to turn this way. So I'm going to go to my hands and knees like a tabletop. So what we're going to do here is work on a little bit of our thoracic mobility. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to reach up, palm is facing out. Then I'm going to let that arm come through, palm is now facing up, my arm's going to slide, crossing underneath, see if I can get my shoulder to the ground, and then back through. This is called thread the needle. So I'm going to do 5 on each side, just working through the range of motion. So some of you will feel some stretching coming up this way in various parts of your thoracic spine and rib cage. Some of you will feel it more when you come down this way. Don't be afraid to let the supporting arm bend, and then you'll switch and do 5 on the other side. So 5, thread the needle each side, and then we'll move on to our strength segment. Okay, today for our strength focus, we have a little bit of an upper body focus. So you're going to work through 4 sets of 15 reps of an upright row and a tricep pull down. So set up for this, what I've got here is just a set of hooks that many of you might have in your home. You might have a hook somewhere in your home that you can find to hang your Theraband on. You can also use your staircase banister or railing, see if you can find a way to hook it over that. Get creative, find something that's going to work for you. So this is our tricep pull down. So I'm going to do 15 reps of these. So I'm going to grab hold of the Theraband, and just for safety's sake, I'm going to wrap my hand one time round so it doesn't come out of my grip. So now I'm going to position myself relatively close to the wall. I'm going to have to adjust a little bit as I need to, depending on how hard the resistance is from the Theraband. So my first step here is to lock my elbows down in at my ribs, and they stay there. I don't move my elbows again from this point on. Remember, keep the belly tight, core engaged, and now we're going to basically press our hands down to our thighs and back up. So we're going to do 15 of these. What we want to make sure we're doing, elbows stay pressed down, and that we're not creeping up with our shoulders. So we're not using these little muscles at the top of our shoulders that go up into our necks to get those hands down to our thighs. We want to be feeling this back here in our triceps. We shouldn't feel anything going on in here in our neck. So 15 of those. Then we're going to do 15 banded upright row. So what I've got here is on the staircase, I've got my Theraband looped around one of my spindles. So again, I can wrap my hands if I choose to, just to give a little bit more security in my hands so that's not going to go snapping out of my hands. I'm going to go into just a little quarter squat. It gives me a nice stable base of support. Remember, I keep my belly tight. My arms should be fully extended, and I should feel like the band is starting to pull me back a little bit. So if I'm standing here really close and I don't feel that, when I row, I'm not going to get enough resistance. So I can step back further until I feel like I'm being slightly pulled into the spindle, and that's my starting place. So keeping my spine tall, my belly tight, I'm just going to pull back, keeping my elbows down by my ribs. This is our functional pull, okay? So we're going to do 15 of these. So we're doing 15 tricep pull downs, 15 rows, alternating between the two, 4 sets. Make sure you give yourself adequate rest between the 2 exercises, and that is your strength focus today. Our conditioning workout for today is an interval style workout. We have 3 movements that we're going to be working through: 4 alternating leg lunge, 8 squats, and 16 toe taps or step ups. As we work through those 3 exercises, our heart rate should start to creep up. At the end of the 16 toe taps or step ups, you will get 30 seconds of rest. During those 30 seconds of rest, you should feel your heart rate start to come back down. For those of you where you're not feeling that come back down at the end of 30 seconds, rest a little longer. If your heart rate drops pretty quick and you're feeling good to go, then by all means go again, but you need to make sure you have a chunk of rest before you do this again. So our movements, what they're going to look like. We're going to go and do 4 alternating leg lateral lunge. So it's the step to the side, push off the outside leg, switch to the other leg. That's 2. This is 3 and 4. Then from here we go to 8 squats. To get our heart rate up, we want to move quickly. through those 8 squats. Okay, so once you've done 8 squats, you're then going to go to either your step or whatever you used to step ups on. So I've got a little box here. You're going to do 16 step ups, moving quickly, or you can do your toe taps, moving quickly, getting that heart rate up. Once you finish 16 of those, whichever one you choose to do, you're going to look at your clock, have 30 seconds of rest, count if you need to, whatever you need to do to time your 30 seconds of rest, or just listen to your breathing and your heart rate, let that come back down, and then you're going to do the whole thing again 3 more times. And that's our conditioning workout for today. Okay, I have a little mobility piece today to finish off with. 2 things we're going to stretch out our shoulder. So we're going to find a wall, stand perpendicular to the wall. So this is my right side. I'm going to raise my right elbow so that elbow is up level with my shoulder. I'm going to keep that elbow there, and then I'm going to let that wrist rotate down towards the floor. Stay tight through the core. And then when I start to feel that stretcher where I feel like it can't go any further, I'm just going to gently press on it a little bit longer for about 20 seconds. 30 seconds if you choose, if it starts to feel good. And then we just switch to the other side. So that's our simple shoulder stretch for today. Quad stretch is the other one that we're going to do. So I have an old gentleman's tie. You can even use your Theraband. So we're going to get down on our side on the ground. So you can cradle your head with your other arm, but just to get set up, what I do is loop the tie over my foot. So I'm on my side. I'm going to try and get my thighs parallel, and I'm just going to draw my foot back towards my bottom. So I should be feeling that stretch in the front of my leg, maybe up into my hip flexors. Make sure your hips stay stacked over the other one, and you're just drawing that foot back towards your bottom. So I will turn this way so you can see what that looks like. So again, I'm cradling my head as I need to, as I draw my foot back with the tie into my bottom, in behind. And we're going to spend about 30 seconds to a minute here on this side, and then we can switch and go to the other side. And that's your mobility piece for today.